Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Matt Leschber with 1836 Property Management, and once again, we are here with you to go over our quarterly, this time investor satisfaction survey results. Now, the reason that we go over these quarterly is because we get feedback from you guys to help improve our services, but also it gives us a real opportunity to find out what we either failed to convey or failed to be received during the onboarding and educational process. And so we have a lot of responses this time. There's a whole laundry list, a lot of really positive things. Some people checked boxes, but then didn't leave any comments, which is totally great. Everybody gets entered to win a gift card just for giving us some feedback if you're willing to put your information in there. And we do take these very seriously. We review these with the teams. We make sure everyone that has a team attached to them or a property address has to respond internally to those to give feedback. And so let's go through about 5 of those. I'm going to pull the comments or the questions or the negative ones so that we can actually learn from those this time. It's really easy to say, oh, you guys are great and blah, 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 but that's not really as beneficial to you guys as something that we could share that may be informational. So the first one is we were told we would get weekly updates, but now they seem to be only ad hoc updates. We would prefer weekly. Haven't addressed it yet with the PM, but planned on it. Was unsure if it was just because we received a new tenant. Yes, you are on the right track. So you will not get a weekly call from your property manager. If we set up weekly calls with all the clients, we would have to charge you probably 4 times as much because there's just not that much labor that it takes to do the research, do the call, debrief after the call, make the notes. So financially, it doesn't work. Even if we want to talk to you all the time, often there's really no update. Like, we got your rent. Nothing happens. So about every 2 months, I will let you know on average, if you look at the whole portfolio over the course of years, we'll get a maintenance request about every 2 months per property. And it could be for something like there's a screw loose to the AC's out. It could be anything under the sun. So if you go for a month and you don't hear from us, that's really good news. And if you see the tape coming through, I'm using the word tape for our maintenance communication, then you'll be in the loop anyway. But yes, once your property is on the market, it's vacant, you're going to get weekly updates. How many showings, how many applicants, all that good stuff. But after you get a tenant in place, everything kind of quiets down. So there's really nothing to share. So you will not get weekly updates throughout the life of your property with us, but you will get them anytime the property is on the market and vacant, because that's when there's really this question of what's next? What am I missing? What's going on? Is there income? So I'll wait for him to follow up with you on that. One video that we shot this morning, funny enough, was with our locksmith, and it talked about this next topic. Be more upfront about fees, like $600 to rekey our new rental. We wish we would have known about that before it was done. I could have saved hundreds of dollars. The good news and the bad news on this is you could and you couldn't have. So Mr. Rekey is our preferred locksmith. They actually go to the property, and it's not just about the locks. They have to install hardware. If you have ever installed a keyless deadbolt, you know how easy it is to make it crooked or go through the door accidentally and make it now a problem, or not have it align with the strike plate. Those are required by state property code. When I say code, I don't mean a book of codes, best practices. I mean law in the state of Texas. So all these things are required at the first tenancy. Also, they all have to be at certain height requirements. You have to have peepholes at certain height requirements for accessibility. Then they go check your smoke detectors, your carbon monoxide detectors. Are they expired? Even if they work and they light up, do they actually trigger with smoke? So all these things happen. Honestly, if you got out $600, you're pretty darn good, because these can run up to $1,500 for the first time. After that, the rekey is typically about $150, and you'll go from tenant to tenant. It gets really easy, but that is a legal compliance issue that the state of Texas requires, and it also reduces your liability. We can't have people having their home broken into and then say, well, we didn't want to spend the money, or, well, the owner did it and he didn't want us to redo it to actual compliance height requirements. So there's some things that are involved in that. We don't make money on that. It's just a legal compliance issue, but it is something everyone in the state of Texas has to do. The next one is another complaint about the fees. We get a lot of these about service fees and everything else. Inflation is here. We all know it. It's $12 for a hamburger somewhere, but the fees that are charged for simple services are outrageous. We were charged $85 in labor to replace the AC filter because the tenants don't have a ladder to get in the attic. I'm going to stop there in this. Why do we need a ladder to get into the attic? So wherever that AC filter is installed, I'm going to challenge, as a home inspector who's licensed, that maybe that wasn't the correct installation. No one should ever have to use a ladder to get into an attic to change a filter. Either the filter could be located in a different location, or there should be a drop down, but something is funky there already from the get-go. Now, maybe for the owner occupant, no big deal, right? We accepted that. But for residents, we don't want them falling through your attic. So we can't have them up on a ladder. You get it, right? But $85, I mean, if you want someone to drive to your house in Austin traffic, drive back, have insurance, have a vehicle, fuel, oil change, you got to do all that stuff as well. Yeah, they're going to charge that. So the solution to this long term would be to properly have something installed so that it was accessible to everyone. So I think this is a foundational issue, not necessarily an expense issue. 85. If you'll come to my house for $85, if I need something done, I may do that instead of having the wife run me around the house. The next section of this is there was a $35 fan remote that wasn't working, so we were charged $167 for an electrician to bring them a new remote. So we recommend in all of our paperwork, all of our videos, do not have fan remotes because they get lost. It's not because you as a homeowner didn't love it or the last homeowner didn't love it, but they stop working, they get lost, and then we can't operate the fan. So it's not about bringing them something. It's about now we have to go rewire the fan, figure out what to do with it, and the problem exists because the remote should have never been there for a rental. Look, if we could find a way to account for all those, great. But I'm going to tell you, half the tenants are going to go, I don't know what happened to it, and I've already moved. Just charge me. That's fine. But then we still have to figure out how to solve it, and this is going to perpetually be a problem. So $167 for a licensed electrician to come out, rework your fan, attach a new remote, figure out what in the world an app does or doesn't go to it. Honestly, it's pretty cheap. I don't know that I've had an electrician in my own house for a while for that. And there's a question about whether we're getting kickbacks on these or not, because you're always getting bills. Well, you're always getting bills because the house isn't organized or structured in the way it should. Once it does get up to par, like we have fans without losing remotes, we have attics that we can access, you won't be getting those bills. But it'll get dialed in eventually. Just be aware that this is something that's going to keep being a problem. We can't keep making excuses. Another one is about an HOA. Please add more help or support in managing violations with my HOA portal. I'd like to not be involved. Hey, we'd like to not be involved, but let's be honest. That is the HOA that goes with your property, and you pay them, and then you pay us to manage the property, but you're not paying either party to manage each other. Many HOAs will simply CC us on the notices so that we as a property manager can handle them, or if you just wish to get them, you could have them and then forward them to us. But they understand that when the property is managed, they want to get the situation rectified as quickly as possible. So often they'll send us the notices as well. But as far as logging into other companies' portals, that's just not really something any property manager does. There's no way we could even track all that information to have logins for every property, and then property managers change, and it just wouldn't work out. So the easiest way is just to have them notify us on any violations. We'll follow up on those, and we'll make sure that they're taken care of. Next one would be to get, we have someone asking to get a 6 monthly market rental reports for us out of towners. So I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for. I'm going to interpret this a couple different ways. Maybe you'd like an update on your property and how it's doing, or market rental reports. But if the property's occupied, then I'm not sure what we would get you because it wouldn't be effective. There are a couple options for you, however, for either of those. The rental reports, if you are just looking at the market in general, you can sign up for through our MLS. Reach out to your property manager, say, hey, put me on a email database for a rental report in this zip code and this bed, bath, and whatever, and you can just get those in perpetuity. I have a couple areas of town that I watch for investment around town, and I just get those emails and I look at them or I ignore them or whatever, but you would get those reports. The alternative that you may be referring to would be, how is my property performing? We have one of the only proprietary softwares in the nation that's actually directly connected to the management software building. And it's called the REI Monitor, and you should be getting those quarterly. In fact, I need to check my email to see if they went out today, because today is the first day of a new quarter. And I, as an investor, have my properties managed by the team here. And so I should be getting some of those as well. So I'm going to dig in and see. If you're not getting the reports from the REI Monitor, ask your property manager. It's free. We do it for our clients. The reason that we developed that was so that you guys would always know how your properties are performing. If something's not going right and it's just 1 in a 10-year maintenance, well, we get that. But if it's not going right over a long period, we need to look at why. We could dig into that in another video, but we really do want to get you that information. If we can help you with anything related to rental properties and investing in real estate, please reach out to us. We're here on South Congress in Austin, Texas. Again, my name is Matt Leschber with 1836 Property Management. We're here to make real estate investing easy for you. Have a great day, and we'll see you next quarter. Bye-bye.